Miami has signed Lionel Messi to a 3-year contract extension through the 2028 MLS season. The contract will last till Messi is 41. Messi has been advertised for Inter Miami since arriving the summer of 2023, earned the Golden Boot this past year, 29 goals. During his time with Miami, they've lifted the League's Cup in 23, Supporters Shield for the top team in the regular season in 24. Inter Miami finished the MLS regular season as the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. They'll now face the 6 seed Nashville squad in the first round of the playoffs. Here's what Messi had to say about his new deal. It makes me really happy to stay here and continue with this project that, besides being a dream, has become a beautiful reality. Playing in the stadium at Miami Freedom Park. Since I arrived in Miami, I've been very happy, so I'm truly glad to keep going here. We are really excited about the moment when we can finally play at Miami Freedom Park. We can't wait for it to be finished, to experience it from the inside in our new home, and for the fans to enjoy it as well. It's going to be something very special to play at home in such a spectacular stadium. Let's get to Tom Bogert, our MLS insider, with more.
While Lionel Messi's future was never really in doubt, it is nice to see pen to paper and an official announcement to come that confirms, yes, the GOAT is staying with Inter Miami. It was also nice to get the contract details, which sources have been telling me for a few months, and yes, it was all confirmed. This is a long-term deal. This is through the 2028 season for the 38-year-old Lionel Messi, who, if he does stay for the entire contract as expected, it will take him past his 40th birthday. Now, there were rumors and maybe some whispers that when is he going to retire? Is he going to hang it up this year? No. He is here for the long-term future. Another big part of this deal is that Lionel Messi, as expected and now confirmed, will be leading Inter Miami into their new home at Miami Freedom Park, their new stadium that's going to open next season. It is no coincidence that Messi's announcement video was him signing the contract at the construction site as they build their new home, their home for the future, part of his legacy with this club and in this league. Now, this deal is done and announced right before the playoffs start, which is a bonus, I think, for Inter Miami and for Messi and for fans across the league. And it's also a time we're going to focus on, can Messi and Miami win that first elusive MLS Cup? Last year was their first taste of the playoffs in this Messi run, and they were embarrassed. They lost in the first round to Atlanta United. It was statistically the biggest upset in MLS history, a league that is known for chaos and upsets. So they have a bad taste in their mouth from that. And now with Messi's future secured, but still the last ride for Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets, both of whom will be retiring this winter, it is a big, massive pressure on this team to get results through the playoffs here and lift MLS Cup. It is MLS Cup or bust. They've said it, and I think we've been saying it for a while. When you have this kind of super team, of course, the standard and the expectation is to win MLS Cup and win any competition that you're ever in. And this is the big one for them to get the monkey off their back. And Lionel Messi, now with his future secured and all of his focus on this trophy, this playoffs run is going to be a whole lot of fun.
And that playoff run will start Friday night. Okay, first and foremost, let's start our conversation with, is this the right move for the 38-year-old Messi in your mind?
Yeah, it's a win for everybody. You continue your legacy. You now put yourself into a type of different conversation. I mean, I would be lying if I didn't think there was a competitive edge because, let's say, his rival that's doing his thing in the Middle East.
So if Ronaldo hung him up, would he hung him up, you think?
I feel like sometimes, especially when you get into that legacy talk about who's the greatest of this generation, you kind of ride it right to the end. You want to make sure that you cement the conversation. And Cristiano Ronaldo is a 40-year-old with the body of a 27-year-old. Yeah. And I think Lionel Messi's probably looked at the same situation, thinking, I need to continue my legacy. Some people would say the debate is over after he won the World Cup and he is the greatest player of all time. I think the competitive edge with him, which has made him play for almost 2 decades, probably tells you he still believes there's things to do. There's still work to be done, but it's a win for everyone. It's a win for the exposure, of course, of the MLS. It's a win for Leo Messi because he can still manage his body. It's a win for that Miami community because there's so many South Americans down there to be honest, the exposure of this, what Miami does as a place. It's a win for David Beckham because of what he's doing in terms of his legacy. And of course, the development of the new stadium. You want to start a project and finish it. He's done that since he was 17 years old when he broke into the first team. He wants to make sure that he showcases what he can do now at the back end of his life as well.
Well, he's on the back end of his playing career. He might be on the whole 17 or 18 of the playing career. Can he play at the same level with his style of play through the end of this contract if he lives it through?
I'll ask the question back to you. Did Serena Williams play at the same level? Did Roger Federer play at the same level? Did LeBron James play at the same level?
I could say that Tiger Woods didn't. LeBron is arguable. So there are legends that we see them change. Jordan didn't with the Wizards. So this, I mean, what do you think?
Key word that you said there, change. And I think there will be changes. I think there'll be changes in terms of the load management. I think there'll be changes in terms of the style of football. But we are talking about the MVP, which is soon to be the back-to-back MVP in this league. Yeah. We are talking about a player that still says, I'm the best player in this conversation. I can still lead a football team. The only question marks I had, D, was around the fact that your friends were leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordi Alba says, look, my time is up. I mean, we've already seen Sergio Busquets has already identified that this is going to be his final season in football. I didn't see a world in which they would retire before Leo Messi. But Leo clearly still feels like there's a lot that he can give to the game. And it starts to get into that conversation of, well, what's he going to do afterwards? Is that ownership? Is that in terms of establishment within the league? Is that an authoritative position? Whatever he wants to do now, he clearly feels like he's laid a foundation in Miami. He can build upon that and continue going forward.
Yeah, his current owner, Beckham, in his LA Galaxy deal was the ownership clause. So we knew what he was doing. We knew what his goal was going to be, and he is seeing that out now. You mentioned the friends with Messi, though. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to, who, if anybody, do you think he's going to go back and say, well, let me play with this guy. Let's bring some of my boys here again because I had a good time?
I mean, everybody would listen to me. If Leo Messi gives a call, if Leo Messi called me tomorrow, I'm playing for Miami. It doesn't matter in terms of whether I've crossed paths with you from a competitive standpoint, if I've grown up with you in the Barcelona system, if I've just enjoyed this time in terms of playing football with you. I think Messi recognizes that I'm the allure. Yeah. And there's not a player in world football that probably wouldn't answer the phone if Messi gives you a call and says, hey, you fancy a couple of years in Miami with me? It's not a bad place to be in terms of the legacy and the growth that you can have. The lifestyle is going to be different. The management's going to be different. Because let's be honest, as much as we can have directors of football, GMs, whatever you want to call them, this guy runs the show.
Yeah.
It's his team. He develops that. He understands that. The allure, what he's done so far. He could call anybody. Anybody you see in that picture, if they're going to answer the phone as soon as Leo says, oh, do you want to come and play with me for a little bit? Of course. And let's be honest, Miami's not a bad place to leave.
Pretty good. Every time I look at those pictures, too, from that Barcelona era, I'm like, man, look at that team. That was ridiculous. Let's just go to here and now, though. They do have a game again, Friday night against the Nashville team. Tom mentioned it. The upset last year was kind of shocking. You know, how do you think this team is going to fare in MLS playoffs since starting Friday night?
It's so crazy because I watched Good Morning Football this morning and like, Steph was really identifying. He followed them all the way through. So shout out to my boy Steph Asaro because he really opened my eyes and with his analysis and thinking that the momentum that they've kind of built, I think most recently, and of course Messi in terms of the form that he's had, only a hat-trick, only in the weekend. Yeah. You can't look away from them. Regardless of what's happening, I am looking forward to potentially an LA and Miami in terms of in the finals. I hope that in the NBA as well. But the game is the game. And when you break it down, their route to the final isn't too bad. I mean, Nashville's been inconsistent in some elements of the season. Cincinnati is going to be the wild card. That's going to be the danger game in terms of the semi-finals. But there's opportunities for them to do what they need to do. And regardless, they're going to have a hard out because there's a lot of quality teams in there that have built good foundations. We spoke to Dean Smith this week from Charlotte, who really is turned around and I think turn a real corner in terms of the momentum they're having there as well. But we're not just looking at the Eastern Conference because you said it, right? Yeah. It's MLS Cup is bust. Mm-hmm. So they want to win everything. They want to turn around and cement themselves as to who they are and what this time in terms of what they've done with Messi going forward means to them. If there's one person that can handle that responsibility with 3 games to go in the season, 4 games to go, it's that dude. Yeah. And he's going to do it comfortably and knowing that his future is here cemented as well.